If you take a look at our country's bail bond system, Austin specifically, there is something very clear. It doesn't work. It all too often punishes innocent people who can't afford to pay a bail bond amount, keeping them in jail to wait out their case, or even worse, forcing them to plead guilty to something they didn't do. Bail amounts should be based on two things: the alleged crime and the person's ability to pay a reasonable amount to get released. Keeping a person in jail for a non-violent crime because they can't afford to pay their bond means the risk of mental health issues, job loss, and unfortunately in some cases, losing their life in jail. For years, Harris County has been litigating bail bond reform, finding that the poor population charged with misdemeanors were being held in jail because they can't make bond. Austin is less than 3 hours away from Harris County. A pending multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed by plaintiffs spent multiple days in jail for petty offenses that sparked a change in Harris County. It's created a policy of automatic release for the majority of people accused of low-level crimes with no money involved. Other cities across the nation, including Austin, are following suit, deeming oppressive bail bonds to be unconstitutional. Rather than just setting a bond amount, the courts are using risk assessments to determine the public safety along with the likelihood of someone returning to court to determine release. What a defendant can reasonably afford to pay is also a deciding factor when it comes to release. Austin is not far behind in the bail bond reform movement. Austin, like many other cities, have not been on the fair side of the spectrum, with bond amounts set so high that even paying a bail bondsman would be a financial hardship. In light of the lawsuit in Harris County, Austin has changed their policy in determining bond amounts to prevent their county from an eventual lawsuit for their own oppressive bail bonds. Bail bonds in Austin are now being determined by the financial information obtained from pretrial services at the time of the arrest. Austin bail bond amounts are set based on this information as well as the alleged crime. Pretrial services has even gone one step further with pre-approved personal bonds for certain Class A and Class B misdemeanors that wouldn't require an attorney's assistance or a bail bondsman for someone to get released. Austin's bail bond modifications are trying to catch up with the parts of the country that seem to be making positive changes when it comes to bail bond reform. While it's likely they are doing this because they don't want a future lawsuit, hopefully it is also reassurance that they want to be part of a bail system that treats all people accused of a low-level crime fairly. Reasonable bail bonds give people a chance to live their lives while ensuring their constitutional right to fight their case.